Your warm-up for Wednesday starts with a seated shoulder extension. We're going to work on that for 1 minute, and then 2 to 3 sets of a circuit, 10 dowel pass-throughs, 10 around the worlds with the dowel, 10 back rack front squats, 10 prone dowel raises, and a 15-second handstand hold. Let's take a look. Your warm-up starts with a seated shoulder extension. We're going to come down to the ground, legs straight out in front of you, sitting nice and tall, hands shoulder width apart. Make sure they don't get too wide, just shoulder width apart, relatively close. And then eyes forward, we're going to start walking your fingers back. Now, if you have a grippy surface, it's easy to control. If you get something a little slidey like these kitchen tiles, you may slide back a little bit as long as you can control it. Do not let your hands get super wide. Staying shoulder width apart, sink into that stretch. We're gonna hang out here for a minute. 1 minute of a seated shoulder extension. For your warm-up, you need a dowel. For the demo, I'm gonna be using my trusty broomstick, but anything where you can get your hands sort of out to this snatch width will work perfectly well. It does not have to be heavy. Lighter is probably better. If you don't have something really long that you can hang on to, you could absolutely use a piece of fabric. This could be a towel that you maintain tension on, perhaps a resistance band if you have something like that, even potentially like a long t-shirt or 2 shirts knotted together. Something you can maintain tension on, don't make it complicated. Starting with dowel pass-throughs. In that nice wide stance, elbows locked out, we're gonna reach up, keep that dowel as far away from you as you can, all the way around, elbows don't bend, tap your butt or lower back, all the way back through. Slow and controlled, back to where you started. Let's get 10. Our next dowel movement related around the world. Starting in that same wide stance, I want you to try and keep that dowel as close to your body as you can without bending your elbows. This is our starting position. This is our ending position. And I actually had to adjust my hands there because I realized I was about to bend my elbows. So starting, ending, and around. We're gonna go 5 in one direction, 5 the other direction, 10 around the world. 10 back rack front squats. Still using our dowel. You're gonna place that dowel on your back like a back squat, but drive those elbows up in front of you like a front squat. So sometimes this is called like a back rack, front rack. So here, elbows up nice and tall. You may have to go to just a fingertip grip. That's totally okay. Find that squat stance all the way down, all the way up. Elbows straight ahead the whole time. We're also opening up that rack position. 10 back rack front squats. Prone dowel raise. We're gonna come on down to the ground. Lying down on your stomach. Hands shoulder width apart, hanging onto that dowel. Tuck that chin without raising your feet, pressing your armpits into the floor. Raise that dowel, hold it for 3 seconds, and relax. Raise as high as you can. Do not raise your chest off the ground. Raise and down. This is not easy. Don't do it with your back. Use that shoulder. 10 dowel raises. Final part of this warm-up is a 15-second handstand hold. I definitely want something you can maintain and make look reasonably good for 15 seconds. So this could be a wall walk. This could be a toes on a chair handstand, our plank to handstand we've done several times, or you can just kick up to a handstand. Whichever way you're doing, we want hands just at shoulder width apart. Really strong position. Kick up soft. Find the longest stance you're capable of maintaining and hold for 15 seconds. Down just the way you came. Always safe and controlled. Make sure wherever you're doing this, if you were to slightly lose control, come down not the way you planned, it would be okay. Do not do this anywhere where you don't feel completely safe. Better to do a slightly easier version. We're just warming up your shoulders. 15 seconds of a handstand hold. Wednesday's Metcon is task-based. We have 5 rounds for time, 20 lateral bottle raises, 20 bottle upright rows, 15 bottle thrusters, and 3 wall walks. Lots of volume. Let's take a look at it. 5 rounds for time, 20 bottle lateral raises, 20 bottle upright rows, 15 bottle thrusters, and 3 wall walks. Starting with the lateral raises, for bottles today, we are using 2 full boxes of organic rice stream unsweetened rice drink. Not rice juice, it's a rice drink. Any 2 things that weigh about the same will work. Certainly if you have some dumbbells, you're welcome to use that. Potentially, I could imagine setting this up with some resistance bands, also some books, some water bottles, almost anything, 1 in each hand. Lateral raises nice and tall. We're gonna meet just in front of you, come up about 90 degrees. You don't have to come up super high, but be careful to not miss really low. That can be easy. So reach up and back down. Up and back down. Think of these as relatively strict, so we don't want to use legs or hips to jump it up there. You can, however, go quickly and still be fairly strict. 20 bottle lateral raises. After the lateral raises, we have upright rows. Bottles start in front of you. We're going to row up and out, eventually getting up around collarbone height. Think elbows up and back. We do not want to stay super close here. You should not be internally rotated on that shoulder. You may find it more comfortable, so it's often done straight up here. A slight break at the hip sometimes makes this feel better for people. That's totally cool. 20 upright rows, strict as you can. 15 bottle thrusters. So those objects, tap your shoulders. We're gonna hit the bottom of a squat, come up all the way overhead. So below parallel, explode, accelerate, pop those objects straight overhead. Make sure we end up stacked over the middle of your body. Not out here, really nice and tall. 15 thrusters. Last movement of the Metcon, 3 wall walks. So as written, you'll start at the top of a push-up, big step up the wall. We want to get as close to the wall as you're able. However, your toes should be the only thing that touches the wall. Do not reach your nose in. Do not bump your chest to the wall. Nice and tall. Walk all the way back down and back up again. If that's too hard, and it is pretty hard, or maybe you don't have space for it, we could absolutely use a chair, couch, other raised surface. Make sure it feels fairly stable. Starting in a plank. Walk as close as you can, and right back out again. Either way, we're going to get 3 wall walks. For your finisher, hang on to one of those bottles. We have 3 Turkish Get-ups per side and 5 windmills per side, still using that object. Now, certainly, both of these movements are traditionally done with kettlebells. If you have a kettlebell that would be an appropriate weight for this, totally cool. You could also use a dumbbell, but you can use almost anything. It does not have to be heavy. So, Turkish Get-up starts. We'll do it quickly, and then we'll do it slowly. 1 knee bent. Whichever knee is bent, that is the straight arm supporting a weight. We're going to sit up, supported on an elbow, sit up, supported on a straight arm. Your front leg becomes your back leg. Up to a lunge, stand on up. This is the top. We're going to go down the same way we came up. So reach that knee back, arm reaches for the ground, your back leg becomes your front leg, down to your elbow, down to the deck. Side, so you can sit one arm up, sit straight, knee up, knee straight, sit, and down. You can break this up however you want. 3 on your right side, 3 on your left side. 5 per side of a bottle windmill, also usually done with a kettlebell. It can be any weight that you can hold in one hand. A relatively wide stance here. We're going to support that object overhead with a straight arm and keep your eyes on that object. Your hand is reaching for the ground. So twisting and reaching, twisting and reaching, and right back up. This is a bit of a core ask, as well as some rotation, twist and reach, right back up again. 5 on your right side, 5 on your left side, 3 times through.